views and opinions expressed by the hosts do not necessarily state or reflect those of the company and its management. Furthermore, the views and opinions of the guests do not reflect those of the hosts, the show, the management, and the network.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Motivationalee. Thank you so much for dropping by, everyone, global friends, wherever you are. Hopefully you are doing well and you are staying healthy at the same time. Thank you so much once again for dropping by. And today is very exciting because I have here with me my fellow coach as well, and she's a head coach of Empowering You Core, a mindset coach. We'll be talking about the power of purpose, living a life with purpose, of course, with Lee here, Motivationalee, and asking you guys, what is it that really makes you feel excited every time you wake up in the morning? You're passionate about, you can't wait to do things in the morning because this is what you really want to do. Let's discover your whys at this time, this evening, ladies and gentlemen, global friends, and obviously, hopefully you can enjoy and live the best of your life with the real purpose that you want to achieve in life. So let's hear it. Let's hear it. And of course, we want to hear it from our head coach of Empowering You Co. We might learn so much from her. I can't wait to introduce to you my fellow coach, ladies and gentlemen. Let's welcome 𝐔𝐉𝐺ie Chambers. I can't wait to see you, 𝐔𝐉𝐺ie. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you. I know you're always busy. 𝐔𝐉𝐺ie, can you hear me? I'm so happy to see you. I'm so thrilled, honestly. This is it. Fellow coaches helping each other, lifting each other's up. That's what we call the law of attraction. Hey, 𝐔𝐉𝐺ie, how's it going?
It's so good and it's so awesome to be here. Thank you, Lee, for having me.
Of course. I promise you, like, we're both of us, we're like tied up with a lot of schedules, but I'm so grateful that today is a big day for both of us. Empowering other people. Of course, this channel is intended to inspire, motivate, and create an impact, 𝐔𝐉𝐺ie, right? So that's why we're here together. It's a law of attraction. At the same time, we want to attract everyone who is watching all over the globe, all over the world. If you are, whatever you're doing at this time, if you could pause for a while and join us at this time, talking about what's the real purpose? What is your real purpose in life? So 𝐔𝐉𝐺ie, before we start about rolling, how's things? What have you been doing at this time?
Things are really great. As you said, we both run pretty busy schedules and mine's been pretty full on recently. I've taken up a new contract teaching in a school part-time, but I'm also fulfilling my purpose in other spaces within my coaching and empowering young people as well. So it's been incredible, but a lot to juggle at the moment. But I'm so thrilled to be here and share with you the power of how important it is to be living in our purpose.
That's right. And speaking of that, 𝐔𝐉𝐺ie, what does it mean, for example, to live a life with a purpose? Take it away.
I think to be living a life of purpose is to be living a life that's fulfilling to you. And it's being ambitious, but it's knowing that, you mentioned before, the big word of why. So what are we doing the things that we're doing for? What is the greater, the greater purpose, the greater why, the greater vision that we have behind why we're doing what we're doing? And I think it's so important to be able to uncover that. And I think it's one of the most challenging things to really uncover. But once you get there, or once you start to figure it out, it sort of just starts to grow and evolve even more. And I guess I'll share a little bit about my story of finding my purpose. I went through being a sports coach in the field of empowering young people to learn skills in the sporting field. And then I decided I wanted to do some teaching. So I went on and did my teaching degree and realized I really loved working with young people. And from that transpired more development in the coaching space of helping people through, challenging times, through growing themselves, through uncovering and learning more about themselves. And I think each step of those has helped me to get to my purpose. And without them, I wouldn't have been able to get to where I am now and really know what living in alignment with my values and with my greater vision and my why. I wouldn't have been able to get there if I hadn't have taken those steps. So I think often we'll sit there and be like, what is my purpose? I don't know. But it's more about, great, I do know a bit about what I want to be achieving and what I want to be doing. And I'm really enjoying this. How can I take this further? And how can I take the next step? And how can I uncover it a little bit more? So it's not an easy thing to find out, but it's once you get there, you know.
True. I'm so proud of you, Georgie. Ever since I've met you and, doing all these coaching as well, and coaching you one time, a few times at that time when we met. And I know that you can go further, and I know that there is no impossibilities when it comes to, for you, getting all your visions, fulfilling that dream and your passion. It's such a nice feeling if you're doing something that you really love. You feel like every day is always a fresh day. But if you're doing something that you don't love, you feel like, oh, it's so heavy every day. You don't want to get up in the morning, right? You don't look forward to getting up in the morning because you're not passionate about something that you feel unhappy, and you think that this is not really for you. This is not what you value the most. So that's really good, Georgie, that you found your spot, you found the right path, and this is now you're a head coach of Empowering You Card. You're a mindset coach. So you know what? A big, 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 big round of applause to you, Georgie. That sincerely. I'm so happy for you, honestly. And looking at you now, looking back, last time when I've spoken to you, it's like, wow, it's like a plant that you have really blossomed. So well done. Ooh, I love that. So I would like to cheer for you. Now, Georgie, were there any challenges that you have came across when you were trying to find those little spots that what you value the most? Was there anything like you have experienced challenges?
Yeah, absolutely.
Distractions, perhaps?
Always distractions, always challenges. And I think that's what this life shows us, that, we start to find the missing pieces of the puzzle and put them together. But there's always going to be challenges a lot that arise. There's always going to be moments where you doubt what you're doing or you question things. And I think what we forget to share is that it's okay to find those challenging moments hard. And I think what's really helped me is the visual of thinking about archery, and you've got to pull the bow and arrow backwards, and sometimes you feel like you're really struggling through a few moments and you're facing some challenges. And for me it was a lot of it has been about people pleasing and not staying true to what my values and my boundaries are, and trying to look out for other people. And so there's those moments where you just feel like you're being pulled back by the bow and arrow, and then all of a sudden you just get slingshot forward and you really find yourself evolving and growing into this new space. And okay. I think that analogy that I was given of being that bow and arrow, and knowing that there's going to be tough moments, knowing that there's going to be these challenges that arise, but knowing that there is a greater purpose for you in this world. There is a greater vision that you're working towards achieving, and being able to overcome those challenges with acceptance in yourself and compassion to what you're doing was probably some of the most profound things that have helped me to get to where I am now after the journey that I've been on. But yeah, I think there's not one single person that you could ever talk to that would say there hasn't been challenges along the way. There's always those speed bumps. There's always the detours that you have to take to get to where you want to be.
Exactly. That's so true. I could sympathize with you and the rest of our fellow coaches and whoever who are watching right now who is the same as well, that they think that they found what they value the most, but there are still like little Miss Nelly, some distractions and some negativities as well, like intrusive thoughts at the same time, and that sometimes pulls you down and feeling like, oh, maybe this is not really for me, maybe I'll just give up, And good on you, Georgie, knowing that you have a passion when it comes to education with young people, and You are doing that now. If you know your vision, you know your whys, you grab it no matter what, no matter how big the distractions would be. The good thing about you is that you believe in that vision. You believe in that, what you value the most. And that's why you're enjoying that right now, right? So you're
Yeah,
reaping slowly, all these, the what you call this, the products of your hard work at the same time. And you're getting there. You're almost halfway through, and I know you're reaping little by little some success as well in whatever you do when it comes to not just coaching, but some of the things that you do apart from teaching at the same time. So that's really good. Mindset coach. Now, before I ask you about your being a mindset coach, I would like to ask you as well, like, because a lot of people will be watching this at the same time and thinking that perhaps Georgie, perhaps Lee, Coach Georgie, Coach Lee, we've got the most important or valuable thing at this time, right in our hands. It's just that because of the doubts, the self-doubts, and thoughts, little Miss Nelly negativity, what could be, with you, Georgie, what could be your approach if the doubts are there, negativities are there? How would you counter react onto this so you can keep going? What are your tips, strategies?
I think for me, some of the biggest things that have helped me have been verbalizing them. Often we have these things that come up, or these thoughts, that intrusive thoughts that come up in our mind, and we just allow them to stew in our mind, and we don't actually verbalize them, or we don't let them out. And it's a bit like, figuring out a really tricky math sum in your head. Like, it's really challenging to do 587 times 32 in your head, but if you write it out on paper, it's a little bit more clear, and you'll have a little bit more understanding of how you're going to figure it out. And I think our thoughts are the same sometimes. Like, we have these intrusive thoughts, we have these fears that come into our mind, and we gravitate towards the negative because it's easier for us to think. But as soon as we sort of get them out on paper and we see what these fears really are, we start to work out that they're really actually not rational fears. They're really just like our own ego getting in our way, or they're just these little scary thoughts that we have, but they're actually not rational fears. And I think for me, it's been actually being able to write them out in a journal and then question myself and say, well, is this fear going to kill me? No, probably not. So what is actually behind this fear, and how can I, move through it or move forward from it? And I think being able to write them down, being able to acknowledge them, allowing them to be seen and heard, but then being able to move on from them, knowing that they're not going to hold me back anymore, has been really, really powerful. Because I think, as I said, we really overthink these thoughts, and as soon as we can see them and we start to acknowledge them, we're allowing ourselves to really move through them and not let them hold us back.
That's really good. Exactly right. I agree with you. And you know what? I love that you're writing it in your journal and reminding you every day, like, hey, this is what you really want to do. And just like with your passion about educating young children, transforming them to become a better version of them, and you have a clear vision, you have a clear understanding of what you value the most. And there's a saying that if your value is really clear for you, it's easier to make a decision, isn't it? Despite of all the distractions and negativities around you, it's just keep going because you have a mission to do. And
absolutely,
Georgie,
it's that level of
doing right now, empowering you to go.
It's that level of belief and just knowing that this is
That's
right.
Good. Yes, keep going. Yeah. Sorry, I think it's the Wi-Fi this time. But yes, that's really important.
Yeah, it's that knowing and that sense of belief that you have in yourself, that you do have this vision, you do know what you want to achieve, and you know that there's always going to be those bumps along the way, like we spoke about before, the challenges. There's always going to be the fears that hold us back because we're only human. And when we're going into a path that isn't clear yet, or we don't know the whole route because we're only in this present moment, there's always going to be things that pop up, and things that challenge us, and things that make us navigate a different way, and people that we meet along the way, and other people that can help us and allow us to grow, that know or have been in a similar situation. I think we don't ever give ourselves enough credit. We just see the first setback and we go, oh, this is going to be challenging. And then you get to another setback, and each time you learn so much more about yourself. Each time you learn so much more about what you want, what you're doing, and why it's important to you to keep achieving. And I think we never ever give ourselves enough credit for, the challenges that we do face and the paths that we go through, because we're all doing an incredible job at the end of the day, as we all navigate this world.
True.
So
True.
I think, it's there's always going to be those fears and setbacks that come up, but I think it's the way that we acknowledge them and work through them that's really important.
That's right. And knowing your values help you find your real purpose in life. It's very important. You really set a clear picture of what you truly value the most. How about you, ladies and gentlemen, who are listening right now, who are actually tuning in right now, wherever you are, all in different parts of the globe? What do you value the most? Because we are trying to discover our why, our whys, perhaps, and what is it really that makes you feel like you are excited to get up in the morning because this is what you want to do. This is you're trying to fulfill your mission. You know what you value most, and this is it. You know your values, and it helps you find your real purpose. And for me, Georgie, I was just just to share with you as well, I value most my family time and everything like that. And I value most as well, like inspiring, motivating, and creating an impact to everyone. That's why I've got my Motivationalee, YouTube channel, FB page, on social media, and of course my website as well. And for me, if I procrastinate doing this, my vision, my values about my purpose in life, it will only just be a dream, because it's just like in a piece of paper, and I have not done anything about it. So I was clear with my values, that I value most of my family time, and I value most about creating an impact to other people. So this is what I'm doing. I said, I'm going to start my YouTube channel no matter what, even though I am not the most popular whatever individual in the world. Like, I'm not a celebrity, I'm just an ordinary individual. Why am I having this YouTube channel? Why am I having this FB page, and Instagram and all those social media? I'm not trying to compete with other people, Georgie, and to all of you who are listening right now. I'm here to continuously make things possible, because I know what I value most. I want to have that feeling of empowered as well. As I empower people, I want to inspire people. At the same time, I have time for my family. I can work from home at the same time. So, I can hit two birds at the same time, because I value most my family. I have time during the day, and in the evening, I can do this. I can do what I love to do. And this is it, my purpose in life, because I value most you guys all over the world, because I want to make sure you feel like you are empowered, you are motivated, and you feel that you're inspired with all of the videos that I have created here on my YouTube channel, even shared it on my FB page and other social media as well. And of course, here with me, Coach Georgie, a mindset coach. We're both here to inspire each one of you. So that's why we're here. We're trying to make things possible. This is what we want to do. And we're making it possible despite of all the distractions of life. Right, Georgie?
Absolutely. There are so many
You're still like happy, no matter what.
100%.
There's so many distractions. But anyways, Georgie, someone's asking, do you have any, that's right, do you have any specific strategies in unlocking all your purpose in life, you think?
I think one of the greatest tools I've used that's helped me a lot through finding my purpose is creating, as I said before, getting words out of my mind. But I think creating mind maps I find them really empowering. It's like putting all my thoughts, putting all the things that I love out on paper. And it's just seeing all these things that we really enjoy and how we can bring to life what we love. And I think there's not one way that you can really figure out what your purpose is, but I think it's, as I said before, it's trialing different scenarios, trialing different things, and just seeing what lights you up. What's getting you motivated to get up in the morning really early? What's keeping you up at night thinking? What are the things that you love? What are the things that bring you energy? What are the things that genuinely just make you happy? And when you can bring together all these things, and obviously things that you're good at as well, when you can bring together all these things, it just sort of naturally all comes together that you have this ability to find your purpose. And as I said, it's not easy, and there can always be, like, when you're leaning into living your life in purpose, it can be frightening to go all in on it, because you might know, but you have something that's holding you back, like, is it creating enough income for me to support my family, or is it creating is it going to be able to be a long-term viable option? Like, there are all these unknowns, but I think that's where we get caught up in the future as opposed to being in the present, and what am I enjoying right now, and what do I want to be doing right now.
Yes, and you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to, encourage everyone at this time. If you have a pen and paper, you can run down maybe top 3, top 4, top 5, whatever it is, how many, sort of like things that you can write. What really matters the most to you at this time? What is the most important thing to you at this time? What do you value the most? And reflect on that, and try, and maybe if you have 10, you can try and squeeze that into 5. It's up to you. And try and prioritize which one is the most important thing to you at this time. You might have just 3 out of the 10. You might have end up 3 out of the 10. It doesn't really matter. And work on that. It is really important, isn't it, Georgie, to work on the things that you value the most. Otherwise, it will only just be a dream. Okay?
Absolutely.
Because dreams do come true because you're passionate of something. Right? So you have to do something about it, despite of and in spite of. You got to do something. Don't just wish for it. Like, I wish, just like me and Georgie, we have that feeling of like, I can be a coach. I want to inspire people. I want to empower people, right? And I want to transform other young generation, just like Georgie. How can I do that? So coaching is one of the channels that we can do, just like me as well. How can I empower people? How can I create an impact to other people? How can I motivate people through career, through health and wellness? I do coaching. Reach out to people in different parts of the world. It doesn't really matter who you are and what your background would be. If your vision is really clear, see your future, and you can really find your purpose in life, honestly. Right, Georgie?
Yeah, you can always make something work. You can always find a way if it's that important to you. And I think it's reflecting also on the questions of if you're not in the space right now where you're feeling overly motivated, or you're feeling overly like you're getting much out of your day-to-day, it's like, reflect on, what was I doing when I was my most motivated self? What was I doing when I was like the happiest, most light, most enthusiastic version of myself? What are these times in my life when I've been this person, and what specifically was I doing, and why did they make me feel this way? And it's like then bringing that into this present of, okay, great, so this was the person that I was most motivated, most excited, most living my purpose. How can I be them right now, and how can I live my life in that way?
Yes. And obviously, guys, if you need some help, some assistance as well, Georgie and I, myself, we have our own specialty. Georgie is more on mindset coaching. Georgie will talk more about that later on, what the mindset coaching is all about. I specialize on wellness coaching. Again, boost your self-esteem, your confidence, improve your performance outcome, things like that, and even like burnout kind of thing. For all the nurses out there, whatever your job is, reach out to me for being a wellness coach. And I also do direction coaching, which is more in career coaching, and also improving or boosting their income boosting, something like that. And also when it comes to faith and also relationship. But later on, Jody will talk more about her mindset coaching through Empowering You Co. Sort of like company at the same time. Now, Georgie, someone's asking here as well that what do you value the most at this time? Just to help other people as well discover their whys. Because some people right now, Georgie, might be a bit confused with what they want to do. They know what they value the most. It's just that they are being pulled to a different path because they just need to do it because they have to do it. Maybe they're doing the job that they don't love, and they just keep going every day. And it took like now 20, 25 years, and they're still in the same, boat, something like that. And they wanted to come out from that dark moments, but then it's not easy. For you, Georgie, expound on this. Like, what do you value the most at this time, so that you have seen a lot of great path for your life's purpose?
So for me, where my values lie is in growth. And so that's personally and professionally. I really value being able to grow myself in order to grow my business, in order to grow my clients, and in order to offer opportunities for others to grow. So in growth is one of my highest values, as well as, I'll share my top three, as well as vulnerability. And my business really came about because I chose to be vulnerable about my personal story, which allowed me to realize that what I'd been through, a lot of others had been through, but being able to support others on their journey as they grow and develop through challenges was something that I was really empowered by. And so being able to be vulnerable with my story enabled others to be vulnerable with theirs, and it built connection and community and opportunities to bring greater collaboration with others as well. So what I say, personal growth and vulnerability are two of mine, and then freedom is my final one, which is my ability to be able to do what I want, when I want, and with whom I want. And I think being able to live through that freedom of being able to be living my purpose each day and being able to feel free to do the things that I want to is also that bringing that moment, those thoughts back into the present moment, and being able to be free in that moment is something that's really close to me. And those three values together all build the individual that I am, but also the foundations of the business that I'm building as well.
Beautiful, beautifully said. Now, Georgie, from 0 to 10, right? 0 being not so fulfilled, you don't feel that fulfillment, and 10 being the highest, you're exhilarated that you are, doing the right thing, or 5 as moderate. Where are you sitting at this time, from 0 to 10?
To be perfectly honest with you, I would say I'm sitting at about a 6 right now. I know what I have to do to be able to get to a 10, and I know that that's in the pipeline for me over the next few months. But right now, I'm probably sitting at about a 6. So I'm just being truly authentic.
That's right. But it's good to know that 6 out of 10 is not bad at all. You have come a long way already, and you never gave up on your vision, and your whys already, and you're doing something about it. You are not procrastinating. That's the right word. If you procrastinate, then it might be just 0 out of 10 at this time. It might just be a dream, as I've mentioned many times a while ago. So good on you, 6 out of 10. Well done. Oh, let's give Georgie a big round of applause and a bit of a cheer. Well done, Georgie Chambers. Yay. Someone's asking here as well. Jella is asking, Lee, motivationally, what do you value the most? Well, I think I've mentioned a while ago, but I can repeat it again. I have this person that I always love to read her books as well. And she's one of those people that I really admire the most. Her name is Christina Carlson. And I can really relate to her so much. Like, I wish I could, meet her one day, please. Christina, is it Christina Carlson? I wish I could meet her one day, because we have the same, common denominator. My first, the number one that I value the most, of course, as I said a while ago, is the family. My family time, my family and my home, right? I put them together. And the second one is my personal development. That's why I love, growing personally. I read lots of books as well. And of course, one of those is, apart from Tony Robbins, because all of us loves Tony, right? Wish I could meet him one day. Georgie, we can meet him one day, right? And Christina Carlson. I read I read different kinds of books just to motivate me as well, and it feeds me more of an inspiration as well to keep going. Because there are a lot of little Miss Nelly around us, right, Georgie, and sometimes it gives us a bit of a doubt that we're doing our passion, we're doing our purpose in life already. Like me, I have a YouTube channel, I have this FB page, I've got my coaching at the same time. But now and again, there are some doubts, negativities, and you feel like, I blame the hormones sometimes, but it's good to read books, and it gives you more enlightenment as well. Why you need to be more focused on what you're doing at this time. So that's my number 2, personal development. My number 3 is health. Of course, health is wealth, It doesn't matter how many times I do my podcasting, my live interview like this, live podcast like this, or anything interview on my YouTube channel or anything what I do. It's very important that I look after myself as well, so I can look after my family and my home, and my personal development. And my number 4, Georgie, is travel. I value the most. I love traveling. And that's why I tried my best, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure that, from being a full-time nurse and retired and doing teaching and teaching nursing, I'll make sure I have this transition as well, so that if I'm writing what I value the most, I have this transition that I'm going in that direction. Like, traveling at the same time. Doing this, I can travel, doing my channel, doing coaching like Georgie, we can travel. So, with my main job and knowing what I want and I value the most, I try and slowly do my transition. It's like, it's not an abrupt change, but at least I'm doing one thing at a time, so that I can be 10 out of 10 one day and travel and doing coaching, doing this channel and doing podcast, live interview. Why not make things happen one day at a time? It's not an overnight success. So again, it's always a choice, isn't it, Georgie? It's always a choice. And hopefully one day, Georgie and I will be able to travel together and doing the things that we always love. Yeah, coaching. Yay! We can't wait to inspire more people that even if you're doing full-time job at this time, if you don't love the things that you do at this time, it's you are just creating your own stress. But if you're doing something that you truly love, that is your passion, Georgie. So now, Georgie, you're being a mindset coach. Can you elaborate on that as well, Georgie, please? You know me, I can't stop talking. I can talk all day. But anyway, what's this mindset coaching that you have, Georgie, at Empowering Co? You know me, right? Empowering Co.
So supporting people to change their perspective on life and see things through a different lens effectively. As I said earlier, our mind has the negativity bias. It's real, and our mind always will look to what's going wrong in our life. And I think when we start to figure out how we can constantly see, well, what is actually going right in my life, we really start to change the way that we see the world. And I think for me, it's been about offering people a safe space to be able to release a lot of what's gone on in the past, so it's not holding them back any longer, and being able to change their perspective on the experiences that they've had, and going from shifting those experiences that they've had to seeing them as learning opportunities or as opportunities of growth. They've really been able to change their mindset and ultimately change their life. And it's incredible to be, as you would know, to be able to see people go from where they have been to a completely another level of who they are, because they've been able to release things that have been challenging them or holding them back, and they've been able to move through and take on board what they've learned and how they can apply it to be able to grow into the person that they actually want to be.
That's the beauty of coaching, isn't it? Seeing those people transformed into a better version of them. Just really, really good. We felt really accomplished, right? Like, it's like, yes, this is it. This is my purpose in life, empowering people. Now, Georgie, someone's asking, is coaching, like you and me and the rest of our fellow coaches, hello everyone, good evening to all of you. Wild success, hello everyone to Calvin and Jason. Yay, we missed you guys. Now, is coaching counseling? Someone's asking here.
No.
Is it counseling?
No, coaching is an opportunity for people to be able to be supported to find the things that aren't aligned with them, and being able to support them to find their next right step. So it's the ability of the individual, the client, to be able to take on board where they're at right now, and giving them the opportunity to figure out where they want to be going. I see it as quite different from counselling, as it's not, the coach isn't directing or giving suggestions. They're merely just supporting the individual to uncover and unlock what is truly going on for the client and where they're wanting to be going, and supporting them to be able to find that on their own.
Yeah, discovering your whys, ladies and gentlemen, and and overcoming those sort of like doubts and fears. And if you have a clear vision, your coach will be there to guide you as well on the right path, which is really good. You have that support system, like us, me and Georgie, and the rest of the coaches of our success as well. It's such a what you call this, a beautiful journey of being coached and having a coach as well. And you seem to realize, like, oops, you know what, I should know what I'm doing, but you're just being overwhelmed with a lot of things in life, and you feel like, oh, I can do this, I am mature, I don't need a coach, and I know what to do. And some would say, like, oh, you know what, I am more mature, I'm very successful, I am a religious individual, I am a strong person, I don't need a coach. But sometimes having a coach would help you elevate your potential, discover who you are really. Your That's right, elevate your potentials and become significant individual. And you discover, like, I can it's not just I can do something about, let's say, what I'm doing at this time. Let's say, if whatever you do right now as a job, you still have a lot of potential that you can do, so that you don't need to do your job at this time that makes you feel unhappy all the time, getting up in the morning, oh, here we go again, this job is really killing me. And with your coach helping you and guiding you and helping you discover what is your real why, what you value the most, then you would say, why I didn't actually realize this 50 years ago. Yeah? And always remember, guys, if you are going to live 100 years, and whatever your age at this time, subtract that with 100 years. Let's say, for example, if you're 40 years old, subtract that with 100. You have got 60 years to go, right? Think about what is the most valuable thing for you at this time that you really want to do, no matter what, and be brave and just conquer that and elevate your potential. If you still don't know, and if maybe you have those bits and pieces, you might need a coach, guys. You might need someone, even for 5 sessions, perhaps 4 to 5 sessions, and you'll be able to reflect on, I thought I'm already successful, but then I'm still unhappy. It's because you're not doing your real purpose in life, because you don't know what you value the most. Right, Georgie?
Yeah, absolutely.
So yes. Okay, so Georgie, would you like to tell us more about your how many sessions do you do? Tell us about your coaching, your Empowering You Co. And in front of you guys, it's just running in front of you how you will follow Georgie Chambers as well as a mindset coach on different social media. So it's just running in front of your screen. Take it away, Georgie. Tell us more about your coaching.
My biggest vision at the moment is leaning towards aligning my sports coaching with the business and building empowered young adults. So I'm working a lot with youth at the moment through school programs, through one-on-one coaching, and through group mentoring opportunities. And they've been really profound in me seeing that as a teacher, there's so many young people out there that are distracted by all that we have available to us at our fingertips, but they're also living lives where they're not feeling fulfilled and they're a bit lost. So I realized that I really wanted to work with young people and offer them opportunities to just have a safe space to speak. So I'm working a lot, as I said, with youth at the moment in mentoring and one-on-one coaching, but I also do work with other clients as well, young adults similar age to me in their 20s and 30s that are just a little bit uncertain of what their next step is, have come out of a long-term relationship and just needing a bit of extra support, or going through a challenging mental health space of negative mental health and not sure of what their next step is, or wanting to transfer their jobs but not sure how to best go about it. So being able to set boundaries, being able to live aligned to what they truly value and being able to be the most authentic version of themselves. So yeah, I'm working in a few different spaces at the moment, but the biggest one that I'm working in probably is my youth mentoring and coaching.
Great. Thank you so much for that. And, all the best, Georgie. My goodness, you are amazing. You're an amazing coach, obviously. Mindset coach, empoweringyouco.com. Don't forget that once again, her website is www.empoweringyouco.com. So don't forget to visit her website and also her Instagram, Facebook as Empowering YouCo. And you learn so much from her as well. Now, Georgie, before we wrap this up, I would like to pause for a while and let's come back right after this. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's to improve K-12 academic excellence. Don't forget to, what you call this, call Learners Hub. And of course, one of the best Learners Hub in the West area. Thank you so much, Bibo and Marian, as well, for my being my sponsor here. And also MLV Group, Accounting Group, and Tambine Restaurant. Thank you so much for being one of our major sponsors. Now, welcome back once again, Georgie. Let's wrap this up. Is there anything else that you want to share to all the viewers globally right now on Motivationalee? Take it away.
I guess what I would say is just if you've got this feeling to change or to explore something, is don't ignore that. I think one of the biggest things that we can do is to feel and to become aware of the messages that we're sending ourselves, and if there is something that we know that we're passionate about, I think instead of looking at that, oh, I don't know if I can, or what if, something goes wrong, I think it's really important to look at the, hang on, but what if it all works out, and what if I can actually find something greater from this? So I think, yeah, one of my biggest things would be, if you get the feeling to go for something, don't hold yourself back. Explore it. Give yourself the opportunity to see what, could come of it, because you just never know. And I think that's the beauty of being really present and living in the moment and not getting caught up in, what's going on in the future, because we can't even predict what's going to happen. So enjoy the present moment. Enjoy what you're doing each and every moment. And if you know that you're not living your life to the fullest potential right now, that's okay. It's about taking those small actionable steps each day to be able to transfer what's going on into what you're wanting to be creating for yourself, I guess. But I think, as you and I hear a lot, is awareness precedes change, and we have to be aware of the way that we want to be. We have to be aware of the person that we want to show up as. We have to be aware of the things that we enjoy doing in order for us to create this change and be the individual that we were put on this planet to be.
Very well said. Thank you so much for that, Georgie. I love that. And I'm sure everyone is being inspired at this time. And those who are watching right now, thank you so much once again for sticking with us, and keep sharing this as well to all the friends that you have, people all over the world, and be empowered and think about what matters the most of their lives at this time, and knowing the real life purpose, the what they value the most at this time. It is very important, isn't it? The power of purpose. Okay. Now, thanks, Georgie, for that. And sit back and relax. I just want to wrap this up as well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, life is too short. Let's not waste our time, doing something that we don't really love and being unhappy. And every time we come home, we feel exhausted physically, mentally, emotionally, in all aspects of life. And if you think at this time, whatever your age at this time, think about this. I would like to repeat it again. Subtract your age into 100 years. And what is the remaining years? Think about that. And I would like to challenge, me and Georgie would like to challenge each one of you to write down what do you value the most at this time? And just contemplate on that, knowing your values at this time, and this will help you find your real purpose in life. So write it down. You might have 100 at this time, and then maybe squeeze that into how many? Maybe up to from 100 to 10, 10 to 3. Think about this every day. Think about this, and try and refresh again, and try and check it out again if this is working, if this is really what you really value at this time. We are trying to encourage each one of you to really focus on this, what you truly value the most, and be guided with your values so that you know what is your purpose in life. And again, life is too short. Do not compromise your values on the things that makes you unhappy. Focus on your whys, what you really want to do, because you know what you value the most at this time, right? You've got few things that you have written at this time, right? So great job, everyone. Hey, but make sure you do something about this as well. And if you need some help, if you need some assistance, if you need someone to talk to, talk to a coach like Georgie and myself. Georgie specializes on mindset coaching. I'm on wellness and direction coaching. So, keep in touch with us. I can redirect you as well. If this is not my specialty, I can redirect you to a different coach. Obviously, I can't do everything, and we're not all perfect anyway. So, Georgie and myself and the rest of our fellow coaches will be helping one another and lifting one another's up as well, and helping you guys knowing what you really want to do, knowing your whys, discovering your why. So, let's do it. Let's not procrastinate. Okay. And there's a saying that, when one of my, as I said a while ago, Christina Carlson, she's my favorite. Don't live by default. Live a life of your own design. That is very important. So, don't waste your time, guys. So make sure you know a clear picture of what you value. So all the best, guys. And I hope one day we'll meet and we can talk. Once again, you can reach out to me on my YouTube channel. And of course, Motivationalee, www.motivationalee. Check that out. All of my services, apart from coaching, I've got lots of services there. And also follow me on my Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course, page, my FB page, Motivationalee, and the rest of I've got Twitter as well, and TikTok. Hopefully we can all meet in one of my social media. So watch out for that. And hopefully, guys, we're able to inspire, motivate, and has created an impact as well. Georgie, thank you so much for your time. All the best, Georgie. Cheering for you always. Have a lovely day, everyone. Once again, don't live by default. Live a life of your own design. God bless you, everyone. Take good care. This is Lee on Motivationalee with Georgie Chambers, your mindset coach of Empowering You. Bye, Georgie. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.